I think we're at a very interesting time in grappling history, combat sport history, where, in the 90s, we had UFC and MMA really kick off. And then it's kind of taken shape now to having more of a rule set. And then that makes you think about what to do differently, right? When I first came into coaching wrestling for MMA at Hewlett House here in town, where I work with several pro fighters, one guy who's in the UFC, Darian Weeks, a couple other Bellator level, LFA level guys. Um, you have to go, okay, sport of wrestling, what can you do? More of, oh, this is an open fight forum, and that's kind of where I came up with the martial art of wrestling. More of a truth rather than here are the rules, now I'm going to alter it to the rule set. So, in a fight on the street, if someone can punch you and you're in a low stance, well, you're just getting your nose beat up all the time, right? You got to stand
Right,
up tall, protect your face,
right.
but still have a good quick down block and sprawl to get your feet back and everything else. Um, and it's quite interesting. And then with no-gi, to kind of add on to what you were saying, they're originally seemingly coming from the gi world of jiu-jitsu, at least in the beginning, and it's like, oh well, there's a no-gi thing, and gi jiu-jitsu seems to be trying, and I could be wrong and a little biased, but seems to be trying to change their rules to keep wrestlers from dominating their world, which makes sense because they have a goal. Their goal is to be a submission fighting sport and not emphasize the takedown as much. So then they kind of build their rules such, and that's good. And from that, you get amazing techniques you wouldn't otherwise have, right? Because with the niche disciplines, you get the very high level in that area. No-gi, well, you can't do your lapel chokes, you can't do so many things, so it immediately is a much more wrestling hospitable environment.
Mhm.
I'm seeing a lot of great wrestlers transition to that and do very well very quickly.
Sure.
um and you have to develop a different style, because if you just go wrestle, there's so many things that's going to get you beat from someone who's a good jiu-jitsu artist. But if you just go do jiu-jitsu and you're in a no-gi, there's going to be a lot of stuff you can't do that you could do before.